I never thought I'd see the day when my mother-in-law tried to sell the one place that felt like home, and do it right in front of my face. But there we were, in a notary's office at 10 a.m. sharp, buyers waiting, and my own husband barely awake from shock. The truth? What she was really hiding made every old grudge between us look like child's play. Let me tell you how it started, how one phone call tore open my world. Sunday morning. I'm standing in my tiny city apartment, sunlight on my coffee, half dreaming about lazy weekends out at the cottage. That little house, out in the country, passed down from my grandma, covered in wildflowers and memories. I swear, every time I think of it, I smell bread baking and hear the creak. It's not just a cottage, it's my whole childhood. Then my phone buzzes. Margaret, my mother-in-law. Even the name makes my jaw clench. She never calls to chat, only to tell me what I should be doing better, or how Daniel, my husband, could have married someone with more ambition. I almost didn't answer, but I did. Tomorrow, 10 a.m., notary's office. I'm selling your cottage. I already took the deposit. You're signing the papers. Her voice is so cold, I swear it drops the temperature in the kitchen. I nearly drop my coffee. What are you talking about? That place is mine. My grandma left it to me. You can't just sell it. She barely sighs. I already have. Lovely buyers. It's done. You'll show up, you'll sign, and everyone wins. The call cuts off before I can even say another word. For a full minute, I just stand there, shaking. Then I wake Daniel up. He's so groggy at first. Then when it hits him, he sits bolt upright, staring at me like I'm reading out a ransom note. He says, "She can't do that, Clara. The deed's in your name. What the hell is she thinking?" I have no idea. But there's this tightness in my chest, this little warning siren that says, Margaret never does anything unless she's sure she'll win. I tell Daniel, she sounded so certain. What if she's forged something? What if she's done something illegal? He gets this hard look in his eyes, the same look I've seen when he stands up to her, which isn't often. We're going out there, today, before she does something we can't fix. So we pack up, barely talking, and drive out to the cottage. The road I've always loved feels different, like we're rolling into a battlefield. Everything looks normal at first. Wood walls, old oak tree, wildflowers everywhere. But inside, I start poking around and find a stack of real estate listings Margaret tucked away. Photos, price tags, all in her handwriting. She's been planning this for months. I feel sick. I want to scream, but I just sit on the porch, trying not to cry. Daniel holds my hand and promises we'll fight. But I can see the worry in his face, too. That night, I call Emma, a friend who's a lawyer. She says, "Legally, you're safe, unless your mother-in-law has forged something. But if she's lied to buyers or the notary, this could get ugly." She tells me to show up, bring all my documents, and not to sign anything. Emma's voice is steady, but I hear it. She's worried, too. I barely sleep. Monday morning, my stomach is in knots. I keep seeing flashes of Margaret's face, cold and smug. We walk into the notary's office, and there she is, dressed like she's meeting the Queen. 2 strangers beside her. Must be the buyers. The woman is already tapping her nails, irritated. Margaret doesn't even look at me. Daniel tries to talk first. "Mom, what are you doing? You know you can't sell the cottage. It's not yours." She ignores him, shoves a stack of papers toward me. "Just sign. The buyers have paid a deposit. Let's not make this difficult." I take a deep breath, my hands shaking, and say, probably louder than I should, "I'm not signing anything. Why are you doing this? Why are you so desperate?" And for the first time, her mask slips. She glances at the buyers, then at the notary, who's standing there trying to look like he wishes he was somewhere else. "If there's a dispute, we'll need to check the documents," he says, real cautious. Margaret's knuckles turn white on her purse. She tries to recover, insists there's no problem, but everyone in the room can see she's flustered. The buyers exchange a look, like they're ready to walk out. Then, out of nowhere, Margaret grabs her purse and bolts. We're all just standing there, dumbfounded. Daniel grabs my arm and says, "We need to follow her. Something's wrong." We scramble to the car and trail her through the city, into the industrial district, a place I've never seen Margaret go. Run-down warehouses, graffiti, the kind of place you avoid at night. She parks, checks over her shoulder, then slips inside a storage warehouse. We wait a minute, then sneak in after her. It's dark, smells like oil and rust. I hear Margaret's voice, sharp and scared, talking to a man whose voice is all gravel and threat. "I told you I'm handling it," she hisses. "The sale was supposed to go through today, but there's been a complication." He laughs, a short, ugly sound. "Enough time, Margaret. You owe me. You don't pay by Friday. I come after your family, your son, your sweet daughter-in-law." My blood goes ice cold. Daniel's face goes even paler. I peek between crates and see this guy, a heavy-set man in a leather jacket, scar on his cheek, every inch of him dangerous. Margaret's terrified. She pleads, "I'll get the money. The cottage is worth more than enough. I just need her to sign." He gets close, growling, "You better, or I take more than just money." He leaves, disappears into the shadows. Margaret is shaking. She fumbles her phone, calls someone and whispers, "The sale didn't go through. We need another way. I can't let him hurt Daniel." That's the moment I realize. She's not just cruel or controlling. She's scared. And she's desperate. We step out. She jumps when she sees us. "What are you doing here?" Daniel doesn't yell. He's just hurt. "We heard everything, Mom. Who is that guy? How deep are you in?" Margaret's tough facade crumbles. She breaks down, tells us everything. A year ago, she tried to invest, lost all her savings in a scam, then borrowed money from Victor, the guy with the scar. Now she's in so deep, she tried to sell my inheritance behind my back. And she did it, she says, to protect Daniel from Victor's threats. I want to scream at her, but I can't. I just feel empty. Daniel takes her hand, tells her no more secrets. We need to fix this, together. We drive home in silence. I make tea because I don't know what else to do. Margaret sits at the kitchen table, staring at her hands, barely talking. We try to come up with a plan. Daniel suggests we could sell whatever's left of Margaret's jewelry. She's already pawned most of it. I float the idea of taking out a loan, but the banks would laugh at us. Finally, Daniel says, "Uncle Rob, he's the only one with real money, and he's always had a soft spot for me." Margaret flinches. She and Rob haven't spoken in years, but it's all we've got. The next day, Daniel goes to see Rob. Meanwhile, I hire a private investigator named Tom, who's ex-cop and looks like he eats nails for breakfast. I ask him to dig up anything on Victor, anything we could use. Rob comes through. He gives Daniel a check for $60,000, but with a warning. "Men like Victor don't just walk away because you pay them. Be careful, son." Back home, I spot a black SUV parked across the street. Tinted windows, engine running. Daniel notices too. "He's watching us," he says. I can't stop shaking. That night, Tom calls. He's found Victor's record, a mile long, with extortion, assault, organized crime, even an active warrant. "If you can get him somewhere public, I'll tip off the cops," Tom says. Margaret calls Victor. "I have the money. Meet me at City Park, 3 p.m. tomorrow. No tricks." We barely sleep. The next day, we get to the park early. Margaret's clutching the check like it's a bomb. Daniel keeps scanning the crowd. I try to look casual, but my heart's about to jump out of my chest. At 3 sharp, Victor appears. He strolls up, sneering, eyes darting from Margaret to me to Daniel. "I told you to come alone," he growls. "I have the money," Margaret says, voice steady for once. "Take it and leave us alone." He snatches the check, glances at it, then his eyes narrow. "This better not bounce, or next time." Suddenly, police sirens blare. Victor whirls around, fury on his face. He lunges for Margaret. Daniel throws himself between them, and for a second I think Victor's going to stab someone. But then cops are everywhere, guns out, shouting, tackling him to the ground. Victor screams, curses, thrashes, but it's over. They cuff him and drag him away. Margaret sinks to the bench, sobbing. Daniel's shaking. My hands are so cold I can barely feel them. I look at Margaret, then at Daniel, then at the blue sky overhead. No more secrets. Was it worth it?